In this video, I'm about to show you hidden plumbing features that only experienced plumbers know about. These aren't things the big corporate plumbing companies want you to learn. These are pro tips that save you money, prevent disasters, and make you wonder why nobody told you this stuff years ago. Let's get into it. Tip 12. The outdoor hose bib that prevents burst pipes. Every exterior faucet, where you attach your garden hose, is a burst pipe waiting to happen if you live where it freezes. Here's the hidden feature. Modern hose bibs are frost-proof. The brand is Woodford. They invented it. The actual valve is not at the handle. It's 8 to 12 inches back inside your wall. When you shut off the water stops back inside the heated part of your house. No water in the exposed pipe means no ice to burst it. But here's what nobody tells you. Frost-proof hose bibs only work if you remove the hose. Leave a hose attached over winter, the water can't drain. It sits in the pipe, freezes, expands, and bursts. But the burst happens inside your wall. You won't see it until spring, when water pours into your basement. The Insurance Information Institute says burst outdoor hose bibs account for over 15% of winter home insurance claims. Average claim, nearly $8,000, all because someone forgot to disconnect their garden hose. The brand to install is Woodford Model 17. Made in the USA, solid brass body, stainless steel stem. About $40. Cheap Everbuilt frost-proof bib is $25, but has a plastic stem and steel body that rusts. Test your hose bibs before winter. Open them fully, close them. Listen for rushing water that doesn't stop. That means the valve isn't seating. Replace it before the freeze. A $40 part now versus an $8,000 claim later. Tip 11. The toilet flange that hides under the wax. Under your toilet, under the wax ring, there's a plastic or metal ring bolted to the floor. That's the closet flange. Its job is to connect the toilet to the drain pipe and anchor it to the floor. Here's the hidden feature. When a toilet rocks or feels loose, most people think the wax ring failed. They call a plumber. The plumber pulls the toilet, replaces the wax ring, charges $200. 3 months later, it's loose again. The flange is broken. The plumber knew it. The flange has slots where toilet bolts slide in. Those slots break, especially on plastic flanges. When they break, the toilet can't be tightened. The fix is a flange repair ring. The brand is Odie. Their flange repair ring is stainless steel that sits over the broken flange. You screw it into the floor, then bolt your toilet to it. $20. Install it yourself in 30 minutes. A plumber would charge $350. Avoid the Fluid Master Flange Repair Kit. It's plastic. Plastic over broken plastic is just 2 broken pieces. Odie's is stainless steel. A 2019 study found that 60% of toilet rocking issues are caused by broken flanges, not wax ring failure. Check the flange first. Tip 10. The water hammer arrestor that protects your pipes. That loud banging when you shut off a faucet or a washing machine stops? That's water hammer. Water is heavy. A gallon weighs over 8 pounds. So when it's moving and suddenly stops, the pipe moves. It bangs against joists and studs. Here's the hidden feature. Water hammer doesn't just make noise. It damages pipes over time. The repeated stress loosens fittings, weakens joints, and causes leaks. The Plumbing, Heating, Cooling Contractors Association says water hammer is a leading cause of premature pipe failure. The fix is a water hammer arrestor. The brand is Sioux Chief. Their 660 series is a small sealed cylinder with air and a piston. When water stops, the piston compresses the air, absorbing the shock. About $15 each. But here's what box stores won't tell you. Most houses, built before 1990, have air chambers, vertical pipes filled with air. Over time, the air gets absorbed into the water, the chambers fill up, they stop working. You don't need new pipes. Just drain your whole system once a year. Shut off the main, open every faucet until they stop, then turn the main back on. The rushing water repressurizes the chambers with air. Costs nothing, takes 10 minutes, solves most water hammer. If draining doesn't work, buy the Sioux Chief arresters. Avoid Watts arresters. They use a spring instead of a piston. Springs fatigue. Pistons don't. Tip 9. The toilet supply line most people install wrong. That braided stainless steel hose connecting your toilet to the shutoff valve. Most people install it wrong. Here's the hidden feature. Those hoses have rubber washers inside each end. The washers are flat on one side and tapered on the other. The tapered side goes toward the fitting. Install it backward, the washer won't seat. It'll leak. Not immediately, but after a few months, slow drip. You'll see water stains and think your toilet bowl is cracked. It's just the supply line washer. The brand to buy is Fluid Master. Their toilet supply lines have a larger internal diameter, 3/8 inch versus standard 1/4 inch. Faster fill times, less stress on your fill valve. About $8. Cheap Eastman lines are $5, but have smaller inner diameter and cheaper rubber washers. Don't reuse supply lines. If you pull your toilet, get a new line. They're $8. The rubber washers compress over time. Once compressed, they don't seal as well the second time. The EPA says a toilet supply leak of 1 drop per second wastes 1,700 gallons of water per year. That's $70 on your water bill for a drip you can't hear. All because someone saved $8. Tip 8. The cleanout plug that saves you a sewer snaking. Outside your house, usually in the front yard near the foundation, there's a white or black plastic pipe cap sticking out of the ground. That's your sewer cleanout. Most homeowners have no idea what it is. Here's the hidden feature. If your main sewer line clogs between the house and the street, that cleanout is your access point. A plumber will charge $200 to $400 to open it and snake the line. You can do it yourself for the cost of a snake rental. The cap opens with a large adjustable wrench or channel lock pliers. Turn counterclockwise. Once it's off, rent a sewer snake from Home Depot. The brand is Rigid. Their K400 drum machine rents for about $75 for 4 hours. Feed the snake down the cleanout until you hit the clog, crank the handle, pull it back. You'll usually pull out tree roots, wipes, or grease. The American Society of Civil Engineers gives America's wastewater infrastructure a D+ grade. The average household experiences a sewer backup once every 5 years. Average insurance payout is over $7,000, but insurance often doesn't cover it unless you have a specific rider. The brand of cleanout cap to buy if yours is cracked is IPS Corporation. Their Weld-On series caps are heavy-duty, UV-resistant, about $8. Generic NDS caps are $5 but crack in sunlight within 2 years. Mark your cleanout location. When it's covered in snow or grass, you'll never find it. Tip 7. The shutoff valve that turns without a handle. Those small shutoff valves under your sinks have little metal handles. When the handle breaks off, most people panic. They think they need a plumber. They don't. Here's the hidden feature. Under that broken handle, there's a square brass stem, usually 1/4 inch or 5/16 inch. You can turn that stem with adjustable pliers. 1/4 turn clockwise to close, 1/4 turn counterclockwise to open. The valve still works. The handle is just a convenience. When a plumber from Benjamin Franklin Plumbing comes for a broken handle, they won't tell you this. They'll quote a valve replacement, $150 to $250. They'll cut the pipe, solder on a new valve for a missing handle that doesn't affect function. The actual fix is free. Turn the stem with pliers. Or buy a replacement handle for about $3. $3 versus $250. Test your shutoff valves every 6 months. Turn them fully closed, then fully open. Do this 3 times. This breaks up mineral deposits. Valves that sit untouched for years become impossible to turn when you need them. That's physics. But plumbers won't teach you because seized valves mean service calls. Tip 6. The sink drain that unscrews with your fingers. Under your kitchen sink, that curved pipe called the P-trap. Most people think it's one solid piece. It's not. It's held together with slip nuts, ribbed plastic rings you can unscrew by hand. Here's the hidden feature. The entire P-trap comes apart without tools. When you lose a ring down the drain or drop an earring, you don't need a plumber. Just crawl under, unscrew the slip nuts by hand, and pull the P-trap apart. Your item will be right there. But here's what hardware stores don't tell you. P-trap material matters. Cheap white plastic PVC from Genova or Nibco costs about $8. Works fine, but it's brittle. Over-tighten the slip nuts, the threads crack. And white PVC discolors over time. The better choice is brass. Keeney makes a brass P-trap for about $25. Odie's brass trap is around $30. Brass won't crack or discolor. On a budget, Dearborn makes a polypropylene trap. Tough, flexible, won't crack. About $15. What to avoid? Everbuilt plastic trap from Home Depot. I installed one in 2020. 2 years later, the slip nut split down the middle, replaced it with Keeney brass, and haven't touched it since. And don't use Teflon tape on slip nuts. They seal with a rubber washer. The tape just makes them harder to turn. Tip 5. The washing machine box hidden in your wall. Behind your washing machine, inside the wall, there's a plastic or metal box called a washing machine outlet box. It has 2 shutoff valves, a drain connection, and sometimes an overflow drain. Most people never look inside. Here's the hidden feature. That box is designed to be replaced without cutting drywall. The front face snaps off. The valves unscrew. The whole internal assembly slides out. A plumber can swap old leaking valves in 10 minutes without touching your wall. But when you call Mr. Rooter for a leaky valve, they'll quote, "A wall opening job, $400 to $600. The brand to buy is Odie. Their quick box has quarter-turn ball valves, not cheap gate valves that fail. Costs about $30. Sioux Chief makes one too. Their 865 series has brass valves instead of plastic, about $40. But here's the real secret. The most common failure isn't the valves. It's the hose connection. People over-tighten washing machine hoses. The plastic threads strip. The valve cracks. Water leaks inside your wall. Hand tighten plus 1/4 turn with pliers. That's it. And replace your hoses every 5 years. The Rubber Manufacturers Association says washing machine hoses cause over 50% of residential water damage claims. Average claim over $6,000. The hose brand to buy is flood-safe from Watts. Their hoses have an automatic shutoff. If a hose bursts, a spring closes and stops the flow. About $15 each versus $5 for generic Eastman hoses. Spend the extra $10. Let me give you a real-world example. My neighbor, retired schoolteacher, 71 years old, called me last February in a panic. Water coming through her kitchen ceiling. Turned out the washing machine hose on her Maytag had burst. Not at the connection, but right in the middle of the hose. The rubber had dry rotted. She had the original hoses from when she bought the machine 12 years ago. The Watts flood-safe hose would have shut itself off automatically. Instead, water ran for 45 minutes before she noticed damage was over $9,000. Her homeowner's insurance covered most of it, but her deductible was $1,000. A $15 hose would have saved her a $1,000 deductible and weeks of living with dryers in her kitchen. That's not theory, that's real life. And the really frustrating part? The manufacturer's manual for her Maytag specifically says replace inlet hoses every 5 years. Page 18. She never read it. Most people don't. So I'm telling you now, write it on your calendar. Every 5 years, New washing machine hoses. Flood safe from Watts. Not Eastman. Not the no-name brand at the discount store. Your floor is worth $15. Tip 4. The dielectric union that prevents pipe corrosion. Look at the connections on top of your water heater. Where copper pipes connect to the steel tank, there's a fitting called a dielectric union. Its job is to prevent galvanic corrosion. When two different metals touch in water, one dissolves. Copper and steel are different metals. When they touch, electrons flow. The less noble metal, steel, corrodes. Over time, that corrosion eats through the tank's fittings. You get a leak at the top. Most people think the tank failed. Actually, it's just a 50-cent part installed wrong. Here's what plumbers know. Most dielectric unions that come with water heaters are junk. The ones with ream heaters have a thin plastic sleeve that cracks during installation. A.O. Smith uses a better one. Bradford White, only sold through professional plumbers, uses a heavy-duty dielectric nipple that actually works. If you have a Ream or A.O. Smith, buy aftermarket dielectric unions. The brand is Matco Norca, solid brass with a thick nylon insulator, about $12 each. Or use stainless steel flex lines from SharkBite. No metal-to-metal contact means no corrosion. About $25 for a pair. The box stores will push Eastman flex lines for $15. Eastman uses thinner steel and cheaper rubber. I've seen Eastman lines burst after 3 years. SharkBite lasts 10+. Tip 3. The pressure relief valve that needs annual exercise. Every water heater has a temperature and pressure relief valve. That brass fitting with a little lever on the side of your tank. Its job is to open if pressure or temperature gets too high, preventing your water heater from becoming a rocket. A water heater that overpressurizes can explode with enough force to go through your roof. The Consumer Product Safety Commission has documented cases. Here's the hidden feature. That little lever is meant to be operated manually once a year. You lift it, let some water out, and close it. This exercises the valve, clears mineral buildup, and makes sure it still works. The manufacturer's instructions say this. Every plumber knows it. Nobody tells homeowners. Why? Because a T and P valve that sits untouched for 5 years will seize up. Minerals in your water, especially hard water, which exists in 85% of American homes according to the U.S. Geological Survey, will calcify around the valve seat. When the valve actually needs to open, it won't. That's when you have a disaster. The brand to buy when yours fails is Watts. Their L100 series is the industry standard. Costs about $25. Cash Acme makes a good one too, about $20. Avoid the Everbuilt house brand from Home Depot. I tested one. The lever felt loose, the threading was rough, and the temperature probe inside was shorter. In an overheating situation, slower is dangerous. Test your T and P valve today. Put a bucket under the discharge pipe. Lift the lever. You should hear water. If nothing comes out, or if it drips after you close it, replace it. $25 in 10 minutes versus a water heater explosion. Tip 2. The expansion tank that saves your water heater. Look at your water heater. Do you see a small metal tank attached to the cold water line about the size of a basketball? That's an expansion tank. If you don't have one, your water heater is under constant stress it was never designed to handle. Here's the science. When water heats up, it expands. In a closed plumbing system, which most homes have now because code requires backflow preventers, that expanding water has nowhere to go. Pressure builds. The American Society of Plumbing Engineers says thermal expansion can increase system pressure by 50 to 100% within minutes. If your incoming pressure is 60 psi, heating your water can push it over 120 psi. That pressure spike destroys your water heater from the inside. It stresses the tank lining. It wears out the T and P relief valve, and it shortens the life of your water heater by years. The fix is an expansion tank. The brand is Watts or Amtrol. The Watts ET15 costs about $50. The Amtrol Therm-Xtrol is around $60. A plumber will install one for maybe $200 total, or do it yourself in 30 minutes. I did this myself last year on my 50-gallon Rheem Performance Plus water heater. The installation took me 22 minutes from start to finish, including the time it took to find my pipe thread sealant. The tank pressure needs to match your house pressure. I tested mine with a Watts pressure gauge first, got 62 psi, then used a bicycle pump to pressurize the expansion tank to 63 psi. That extra pound ensures water flows into the tank instead of fighting it. Amtrol has a video on their website showing exactly how to do it. No plumber required. And here's the kicker. My water heater is from 2015. If I had known about expansion tanks back then, I could have added it year one and probably added 3 to 5 years to its life. The Department of Energy says thermal expansion is responsible for up to 30% of premature water heater failures. 30%. That's not a small number. That's hundreds of thousands of water heaters dying early every single year because of a $50 part that nobody mentions. Shut off the water, drain a few gallons, screw the tank onto the cold water line. But here's what manufacturers don't want you to know. Rheem, A.O. Smith, and Bradford White all require expansion tanks in their warranty fine print. Read your warranty. Section 7, buried on page 12. If you don't have an expansion tank and your water heater fails, they can deny your claim. They don't put that on the box. They wait until you file a claim, then hit you with the fine print. That's a warranty denial strategy. Tip 1. The access panel behind your tub that nobody mentions. You know that tile wall around your bathtub? Behind it, on the other side of the wall, usually in a bedroom closet or hallway, there is probably an access panel that the builder installed. And nobody ever told you it exists. I'm talking about a removable panel that gives you direct access to the tub's drain and supply lines. This isn't a secret to plumbers. They use it all the time. Homeowners never know it's there. They call a plumber for a leaking tub, and the plumber charges them $300 to cut a hole in the wall. That hole was already there. Here's what you do. Go into the room behind your tub. Look for a panel that doesn't match the rest of the wall, could be a different texture, or just a rectangle of drywall with screws. In homes built by Lennar, D.R. Horton, or Pulte, 3 of the biggest builders in America, these panels are standard in most floor plans. They cost the builder $20 to install. They save you hundreds on repairs. If you can't find one, make one yourself. Cut a 12 by 12 inch hole in the drywall, install a plastic access panel from Odie, $15 at Home Depot, and suddenly you have permanent access to your tub's plumbing. No more tearing out tile. No more calling a plumber for a simple leak. The big plumbing companies like Roto-Rooter won't tell you this because cutting and patching drywall is a profit center for them. They charge by the hour. An access panel turns a 2-hour job into 20 minutes. That's why they hope you never learn about it.